Hello, my Facebook family. Great to see you. I have a goal in my private group to go live once a week. I'm not sure if that's the right tempo, but this one was really applicable to everybody, just not those people that are in my group. So hashtag live, if you're with me live, I'd love to see your comments. Hi, I'm Carrie, as you probably already know. I'm checking my computer just to my left because it has all the comments so I can see who's live with me. That's great. So I have a private Facebook group that really dives into communication tips and tricks. If you want to get involved in that, for sure, let me know and we'll slide you in, or just join it yourself through Facebook or LinkedIn if you prefer that. I am inspired on this video today to go live and have lunch with you in Central Time, if that's when you're having lunch, is to really dive into some self-care strategies. So I've noticed in even the last week or two, the Delta wave has really hit the US and people are just being weird, being tired, I guess, even more than weird. I got a text from a friend today who was saying that the person is a healthcare provider and treats somebody who is like live and, you know, catches themselves in the grocery store cursing out the manager who really asks the person to please wear a mask, and just does all this like crazy misbehavior, if you will, disrespectful stuff in the community, sort of loud and proud of I resist, and then is now having panic attacks because their husband's in the ICU on a vent with COVID. That's not a judgment on either side of those things, right? We believe what we believe and our experiences shift us. And because we seem so dichotomized around just the pandemic, that it's just bringing out some sides of people that maybe aren't great. And we're having to dig deep. And so I wanted to spend some time today with you on self-care strategies of digging deep and what that means to you. Because the reality is, we have all dug deep at some point in our life. And I sense the sort of society. I remote with an Illinois company. I do some consulting work in different states. I live in Texas. It doesn't matter where you are. Certainly friends in Canada, my home country. It's a rough time right now. People are sick and tired of wearing masks. Kids are going to school and they have to wear their mask. I was talking to one mom this morning. Her kid had his first day yesterday and just came home with like red, sweaty face from wearing the mask all day. I mean, just, give me normal, right? And it's not going away. I mean, our vaccination rates in the US are not super high, and so variants are going to keep coming, and it is what it is, right? We're seeing in the healthcare company that I serve in Illinois a struggle for beds. Like, we have enough beds, barely. Nursing units talking about just calling like 13 different hospitals trying to get patients in care areas that need more care. I'm super intrigued with like Google and Delta, who have mandated the vaccines for their organization. So even outside of healthcare, not that this video is about vaccines or not, it's just interesting how people respond to decisions that companies are making, or even their own personal decisions, and how much energy we spend judging and blaming and looking at other people for that. So it brings me to the point of today's lunchtime video, which is self-care, right? Can we control what other people do? No. I mean, you're going to have your beliefs, they're going to have their beliefs. I'm a proponent of the vaccine, full transparency. Irrelevant though, right? We're still going to maybe be in the grocery store where you see somebody melt down screaming at a manager because the customer has to wear a mask. I mean, that's just not pleasant for any of us to sort of be in front of. We still have the national shortage of staff, so you might be experiencing something that's just crazy in your world. And so let's talk about self-care, because we need some of that, right? So bear with me. Think through a time when you had to dig deep. We all had those times. So I'm going to lead you through an activity that you could easily do with your own teams, friends. Just really put words on a time when you had to dig deep. For me recently, it was my dad passing. It's at the forefront of my mind because I couldn't go home to Canada, and we're having a service for him next week, and I'm going to fly home for that. But during it, right, being in the US, not able to be at his side, all the ways you sort of imagine a parent passing, it was much different in a pandemic. And I remember really cocooning myself as I dug deep in that, right? Took all of the bereavement time my company offered. Certainly felt supported to take more from both the organization and my partner. So I insulated myself. I didn't really do a bunch of social things for a while. And I remember at work going back, wearing clothes that were bright to kind of mask so I didn't get a bunch of people, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I've got it, just leave me alone. I didn't want to look like I needed something. I remember at work, I really leaned into the transactional kinds of stuff, like checklist things, not the heavy interpersonal stuff that I normally spend time on. So when I think about those strategies, I think, how can I use those strategies and incorporate them in the day-to-day stuff now? So maybe for you, you get more sleep, or maybe you have friends that you talk to, or maybe you journal, or we do things to pull through, always. So pause with me and think about a hard time in your life. I don't necessarily need to know what it was. A hard time in your life when you dug deep. Because if you're watching this, it means you're alive and you've had to dig deep. This is life, right? So what did you do during that time to dig deep? That's the real question. For me, I cocooned myself. I napped, I slept, I let myself cry. I consciously told myself, it's okay, cry, Carrie, you've lost someone important in your life. I consciously wore clothes that faked it so that I would have less people asking or less people giving me pity, like I looked like I was all messed up. I still cried at work though, let's be clear. It wasn't all sunshine and roses. I remember just not doing a lot of stuff, like letting myself in the off time just cocoon. And so as I think now, we've transitioned recently to Texas, what am I doing now to get through this really, a big wave with the Delta variant and people just being weird. You can just feel the energy, intensity, friction out there. And so we gotta get through this. I mean, it's a painfully irritating expression, nothing lasts forever. Well, we're gonna come out of this and we're gonna find a way through it. So we just gotta get through this wave that's happening now. And some of you, I think the UK is further ahead than Canada. The US is just getting hit now. Whatever country you're from, you might be further ahead or behind where this video is coming from. So thank you for bearing through it. Give us models of ways to get through it. And know that nothing lasts forever. So intentionally hunker down to think through something you can do to get through. So my commitment to you and my action is to really just cocoon, right? Just be around people that I think are following the same safety practices so I don't have anxiety around whatever they're doing or not doing. Be comfortable being bored, get some good books, like just kind of shave off that need to sort of get out and cocoon, right? I just protect myself from being exposed to some of that anxiety and craziness out there, like shut the walls. When I go to work, when I coach people, when I'm interacting with people, of course, the walls are not up, right? We've got to connect. I'm going to feel their anxiety. Outside of that though, let's rejuvenate because we need you. We need you doing whatever you do to help us get through this because thankfully nothing lasts forever. And so you play a role in this ending. Whatever that is, care for yourself because you matter. That's my lunchtime spiel today. Bye everybody.